Until the prequel trilogy came along, the role of the Jedi was very mysterious and no one really knew how they operated. They were like a relic of the past that Obi-Wan, Luke, and Yoda were the only remnants of. However, since 1999, the prequel trilogy and the expanded universe have really explored how the Jedi operate. So today we're going to be going back to the Republic days and taking a look at all of the ranks and classes attainable by a Jedi.
Get ready!
This is where the fun begins.
Now I am the master.
Bad feeling about this.
So the first step in becoming a Jedi is to be an initiate or a youngling, and this is basically the point where you can start to actually learn the ways of the Jedi. Younglings were separated into clans where they would study with 8 or 10 other students under the tutelage of a Jedi Master. There are too many clans to really look at each one individually in this video, but they were often named after wildlife. So for example, the Wolf Clan, or the Hawk Bat Clan, or the Dragon Clan. A young Jedi could leave this beginner stage after completing the initiate trials. So typically what would happen is you'd pass these trials and then you'd study under a Jedi Knight and you'd go along with them for missions, do whatever they did, basically job shadow them. And at this stage you were a Jedi Padawan. However, some students, for whatever reason, were either unable to pass the initiate trials and needed to become a Padawan, or unable to find a Jedi Knight to train under. One option available for these students was to serve in the Jedi Service Corps, and although they wouldn't be able to proceed further in the path of the Jedi, they could still do honorable work. The Jedi Service Corps had 4 arms: agricultural, medical, educational, and exploration. And again, these 4 arms are basically ways for Jedi to serve the galaxy as a whole and use their force for good. But assuming you did find a knight and you were training as a Padawan, you would typically do so for 10 years or so before undergoing the Jedi trials. And assuming you passed, you'd get to become a Jedi Knight, and this was the highest rank that most Jedi could expect to achieve. However, within that rank, you could specialize in one of 3 ways. You could become either a Jedi Consular, a Jedi Sentinel, or a Jedi Guardian, and each one of these ranks had subspecialities. Each one of these paths represents a different approach to how you see yourself as a Jedi and how you treat the Force. So let's look at a Jedi Consular first. These are basically Jedi who would focus most heavily on the mental element of being a Jedi.
For my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is.
So things like meditation, connection to the Force, negotiation skills, peacekeeping, things like that. And you wouldn't really see a Jedi Consular on a battlefield really engaging in direct combat unless things got really hairy. There are many subclasses of Consular, which I'll canvas now really quickly. So there was the Healer, and what the Jedi Healer did I think was pretty obvious. They would study medicine and how to use the Force to heal people. There was the Lore Keeper, who are essentially librarians, and there was also the Researcher, who would work with the Lore Keepers to update the Jedi library. Then there was also the Diplomat and the Ambassador, and I think it's pretty clear what these two would do. There were also Jedi Seer, who would use the Force to try to predict the future, and if you were really good at this, you were known as a prophet, and you would actually use your talents to help steer the direction of not only the Jedi Order, but really the galaxy as a whole. Kind of the opposite of the Jedi Consular would be the Jedi Guardian, and this is the second of the main path for Jedi Knights. And they would use the Force to complement their physical ability, so how expert they were with a lightsaber, how fast they could run, how high they could jump, even how they could handle a starfighter. And again, there were many sub-orders for the Guardian. So there's the Weapon Master, who obviously is very skilled in using a lightsaber and other weapons. There's the Peacekeeper, and I think the name there kind of explains what they would do. There's the Lightsaber Instructor, who would focus on passing down lightsaber skills to the younger generations. And there's the Jedi Ace, who focused on starfighter combat. Many Guardians would also work as part of the Jedi Temple Security Force, and within that kind of class, there was further sub-ranks of Gate Master, Sniper, or Brute. Finally, there's the Jedi Sentinel, who basically acted as a balance between the Jedi Consular and the Jedi Guardian, so they wouldn't focus solely on mental or physical skills, but would try to improve both. The subclasses for the Sentinel were the Jedi Investigators, the Jedi Recruiters, who would basically find new Force sensitives to join the Jedi Order, the Jedi Shadow, who were basically a secret police force who hunted down dark side users, Jedi Watchmen, who were basically diplomats on a sector or a solar system level scale, and Jedi Temple Guards, who are different than Jedi Temple Security Forces. These guys are basically, they dedicate their whole lives to protecting the Jedi Temple. So that's a lot. Clearly there's a high degree of specialization available to Jedi Knights within the Order. However, I would argue that the ultimate goal for all of these Jedi were to eventually achieve the rank of Master. And Masters were very elite Jedi who basically were strong not only in the Force and their abilities, but also their knowledge and their wisdom. It should also be noted that sometimes a Jedi Consular who'd achieved the rank of Master would be referred to as a Sage Master, while a Jedi Guardian would be referred to as a Warrior Master. However, Master wasn't necessarily the highest you could reach within the Jedi. The best of the Jedi Masters would be selected to sit on the Jedi Council. And the very best of the very best would get the title Grand Master and was basically the leader of the Jedi Order. So that's it, guys. Those are the basic classes or the basic ranks achievable by a Jedi during the time before the Galactic Civil War. I will note that some of these ranks do have further sub-ranks. So for example, if you started as a Jedi Librarian, you could eventually work your way up to be the Chief Jedi Librarian. There were also extra ranks available during warfare. So for example, Anakin and Obi-Wan were often referred to as Jedi Generals, and there were also Jedi Commanders. And if there's any of these sub-ranks that you guys are particularly interested in, let me know down in the comments. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It took quite a bit of time to make, so if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm also going to put an Amazon affiliate link down in the description with some of the books that I used to research what I needed for this video. And if you found this interesting and you want to learn more, purchase one of those, and it not only gets you a new book, but it helps me out and supports me as an individual and as a channel. Just remember, you never have to do that, guys, because I'm going to be here making videos either way. Thank you so much for watching, guys. May the Force be with you.